Sharon Radio, delivering trusted business and financial intelligence. Welcome to Sharon Business Radio, the voice of the economy. In today's stock market, Nigeria enters the first trading week of August with investor focus on corporate earnings, market liquidity, and balance sheet strength. Half-year 2026 results from major firms including MTN Nigeria, Dangote Cement, Nigeria Breweries, Dangote Sugar and Sterling Financial Holdings point to stronger profit performance. However, analysts say attention will remain on cash flow, funding costs, asset quality, and the sustainability of dividends. Meanwhile, First Holdco's planned 10.4 billion share divestment is expected to test market liquidity and influence price movement in the near term. On the macroeconomic front, the outlook remains mixed. Manufacturing growth rose to 33% in the first quarter of 2026, supported by relative exchange rate stability and easing inflation. However, analysts also warn that the recovery is still fragile. Nigeria's external position also remains under pressure, with net foreign liabilities rising to over $90 billion, while concerns persist around fiscal financing and monetary policy transparency. In the oil market, prices face uncertainty amid easing geopolitical tensions and increased OPEC supply, although domestic fuel costs may remain elevated due to refining challenges. Overall, market watchers say investors will closely monitor economic indicators, foreign exchange conditions, and corporate performance to gauge the strength of Nigeria's economic recovery. Global market opened the new trading month on a positive note as U.S. equity futures surged following easing geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. Futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average jumped over 500 points, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq also recorded moderate gains in early trading. The rebound comes after U.S. President Donald Trump called off planned military strikes against Iran and signaled a return to diplomatic talks, a move that claimed investor fears and triggered a sharp drop in oil prices. Brent crude fell about 6% to around $82 per barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate dropped nearly 7% to below $79. Treasury yields also edged lower, reflecting reduced inflation concerns, with the 10-year yield slipped to about 4.68%. Despite the optimism, analysts caution that investors remain watchful, noting that tensions could still resurface. Attention is now shifting to key economic data expected later this week, particularly U.S. non-farm payroll figures, which will provide further direction for the markets. Across Europe, major indices traded higher, led by gains in Germany and France, while Asian markets closed mixed, with notable losses recorded in South Korea and Japan. Investors are expected to trade cautiously as global economic and geopolitical developments continue to shape market sentiment. And that's all we have for you this morning on Sharon Business Radio. For more updates on business, finance, and the economy, follow us on TikTok, Sharon Business Radio, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sharon Radio. I am Billy Ungu. Thank you for listening. Sharon Business Radio, the voice of the economy. Have a beautiful week.